Hey, Steve, we're on. Oh, live from the ever lovable Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios here at Park Forest Apartment Complex. This is Steve Sporty Balls. And now, here's your host, better looking than Joey Behar. Thank God for something. Here's Steve. We got to do better. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I am doing a bit fantastic. Glad you're asking. To my friend, to the Lady Piper, in your honor, some harder lemonade. Anyway, welcome to the broadcast. I am glad you're here with us. Just having me a little bit of cereal. Lug nuts and grape nuts. What can you say? Except, wow. Okay. Put that down there. And we get going. With a little bit of news, let's go to the National Football League. All the news, by the way, comes to us from CBS Sports. Now, when the Buffalo Bills decided to put Stephon Diggs on the trade market, they were willing to make a deal with almost anyone. But there's one team, the NFL, that they refuse to make a trade with. Just happens to be the world champion, Kansas City Chiefs. According to former Sims, Diggs was allowed to seek a trade with literally any team except for the Chiefs. Chris Sims said on PFT Live Thursday, from what I do know, he was allowed to seek a trade from anybody in the league except the Chiefs. That's what I've been told by multiple people. He was allowed to do that. The Chiefs were the only team they weren't going to trade to. End quote. That one fact alone tells you everything you need to know about the rivalry between the Bills and Kansas City. They've played the Chiefs in the postseason 3 times since 2020, and they lost all 3 games. The Bills clearly have no interest in helping the Chiefs, which is likely why they decided that Kansas City was the one spot they weren't going to send him under any circumstances. Now, it's not clear if the Chiefs even tried to contact Buffalo about a possible deal, but if they did, it sounds like the Bills didn't even answer the phone. Maybe because they've already got people to play. In the end, the Bills ended up making a deal with Houston in a trade that sent shockwaves through the NFL. There you go. That's shockwave. To make the trade happen, the Texans sent a 2025 second-round pick to Buffalo. In return, the Bills sent Diggs and 2 draft picks, a 2024 sixth-rounder and a 2025 fifth-rounder, to Houston. The Texans made the playoffs in 2023 and feel like a legit Super Bowl contender for this season, which proves that the Bills were willing to help an AFC Super Bowl contender as long as the contender wasn't the Chiefs. Why couldn't they help the Lions? Yeah, I'm right. Not only did the Bills trade Diggs to a contender, but they're also taking a $31 million dead cap hit on his contract, which tells you how desperate they were to get rid of him, and how desperate they are to at least win something out of this. They haven't won a Super Bowl for a long time. They are due. Now, as for Diggs, although the Bills refused to even consider the option of trading him to Kansas City, He could still end up there in 2025. The Texans. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Matt. How y'all doing? The Texans' new receiver signed a revised contract on Thursday that will void the final 3 years of his deal, which means he'll be a free agent following the 2024 season. If Diggs wants to sign with the Chiefs, who could stop him? So maybe this deal that Buffalo made isn't going to be exactly kibbles and fish. There we go. Well, it's probably like anyway. So good luck to all. That's right. Now more NFL news. I'm doing well. We managed to find my dad a new chair. I got it and ordered it. I got it ordered at Walmart. Congratulations, man. Tell your dad I said hello. And Nancy, as always, it is a thrill to have you watch and or listen to us. Quantez Stigger had a huge first season in the Canadian Football League. NFL teams are taking notice. The most outstanding rookie in the CFL last season had already visited with several teams, including the Ravens, Jets, Lions, Dolphins, and Texans, according to his agent via KPRC Channel 2. Stiggers will visit with the Minnesota Vikings next. The former fan-controlled football league player ended up signing with the Toronto Argonauts last season, having 5 interceptions in 16 games. Stiggers didn't play college football, but made his mark in the CFL with 53 defensive tackles and 3 special teams tackles. Stiggers participated at the East-West Shrine game and is eligible for the 2024 NFL Draft. The 22-year-old led the FCF with 5 interceptions and made 30 tackles while being named a finalist for the league's Defensive Player of the Year award, which happened to be in the last season of the league. NFL teams are giving Stiggers a shot. Whether he's drafted or not will be determined at the end of April. Live from the Motor City in Motown. That's right, Motown. The Motor City, where everyone looks so freaking pretty. Motown, there is the city. The music is great and the women is pretty. Anyway, how you doing? All right. Okay. I'm slowly drinking this. Wow. I'll probably sleep like a baby tonight. Anyway, your stock rises. Mm. Okay, as we told you yesterday, it is now official. The Athletics, as part of their efforts to relocate to Las Vegas in time for the 2028 season, will play their home games for the 2025-2027 seasons at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, California. The deal includes an option for a 4th season. The A's lease with the city of Oakland is set to expire at the end of this season, yet the A's rejected a 5-year extension on the lease of Oakland Coliseum. That, plus an apparent desire to retain as much of their local broadcasting revenue as possible, a factor that may have dissuaded them from temporarily relocating to Salt Lake City or other out-of-state possibilities, led the A's to the capital city of California. Now, the A's do not intend to change their name to reflect their Sacramento residency. Instead, they'll be known simply by their nickname, according to the Athletics' Evan Drellich. Team officials met with the city of Sacramento Wednesday, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, a day after saying they were far apart on terms needed to agree on an extension to stay in Oakland. More of those negotiations with Oakland, courtesy of ESPN. And the hours after that meeting, Oakland officials reached out to the Athletics with a revised offer, a 3-year lease and a $60 million extension fee. That offer was contingent on Major League Baseball agreeing to a 1-year exclusive right to solicit ownership for a future expansion team in Oakland. Sources indicated the Athletics were receptive to the new offer, but the team met with Sacramento officials less than 24 hours later and quickly agreed to a deal. John Fisher, owner and truly the bravest man in Oakland. Hello, Phil. You came here just in time. Said this, quote, "We explored several locations for a temporary home, including the Oakland Coliseum. Even with the long-standing relationship and good intentions on all sides of negotiations with Oakland, the conditions to achieve an agreement seemed out of reach. We understand the disappointment this news brings to our fans as this season marks our final one in Oakland. Throughout this season, we will honor and celebrate our time in Oakland and will share additional details soon." End quote. Sutter Health Park opened in 2000. It seats around 14,000, including outfield, lawn, open seating. Now, that's significantly less than the average MLB stadium, including the Coliseum, which holds 63,000 people. That said, the A's are averaging fewer than 6,500 people in the stands through 6 home games so far this season, the result of a years-long neglect by ownership and management to field a worthy product and to find a way to keep the once proud franchise in Oakland. Now, it appears Sutter Health Park plans to host both the A's and the Sacramento River Cats, the San Francisco Giants AAA affiliate, in those 3 seasons. As the press release states, fans, quote, "also still get to enjoy the beloved tradition of minor league baseball and the Sacramento River Cats," end quote. This means the ballpark would host 156 games, 81 Major League Baseball and 75 minor league baseball games between late March and early October. Now, construction has not yet begun on the A's future Vegas home. The Nevada Supreme Court will hear an argument from the Political Action Committee Schools Over Stadiums on April 9th that could impact those plans. Casey Pratt of KGO ABC 7 in the Bay Area also reported that the A's plan to use staff that's already in place for other professional sports teams in Sacramento, including the NBA's Kings and the River Cats. According to Pratt, that would mean layoffs for existing A's employees. Boy, you can't get a break, can you? Okay, we're looking at some more stuff. Yee ha ha. On Friday, it is okay to drink. Now, let us see what other news is going on. In the one sport that we know something a bit about, that's hockey. Over in the NHL, let's see an update on the playoffs and the wild card race. Okay, we'll do that in a smidgel here. We will do everything we can, ladies and gentlemen. Tried and true. Right now, I don't believe we've... Come on, scores. Thank you. Actually, we're not going to scores yet. We're going to do that last, like we did yesterday when we were young. Okay, let's all right. Let's give you the standings right now as we near the final week or the final days of the hockey season. Right now, in the Eastern Conference in the Atlantic, it's the Bruins, Panthers, and Maple Leafs, the big three in the Atlantic. In the Metropolitan, Rangers, Hurricanes, and Islanders. And the wild card race just got a bit stinkier. The wild card race has the Capitals with 82 points, Red Wings with 82 points. Well, let's go top side first. Lightning with 93 points, Flyers with 83 points, and the Capitals and Red Wings both with 82 points. And very few days left on the regular season. Let's go to the Western Conference. In the Central Division, the Stars, Avalanche, and Jets are in. Pacific, Canucks, Oilers, and Golden Knights are in. And the wild card, well, in all intents and purposes, the wild card is now just about complete. Predators and Kings. Predators with 92, Kings with 91. Blues and Wild are in their closest, 84 and 81 respectfully. So there you go. Right there, right above the world so high, kids. Hey, how you doing? Okay. But if the Red Wings are to win, they are going to have to just get it together and hope and pray that Philadelphia falls flat on their face. Actually, the Capitals fall. Let's take a look at scores right now. And looks like the Sabres and the Hurricane are going to help the Red Wings out. Well, actually, they did. We'll give you all the scores in just a few moments. Already been on the air for 18 minutes. Okay. Let's get some more sports news. And here we go. By the way, as Bleacher Report is reporting, the Athletics have filed for 2 new trademarks ahead of the relocation to Sacramento in 2025. They reportedly filed trademarks for Sacramento Athletics and Sacramento A's, per trademark attorney Josh Gerbin, founder and principal of Gerbin IP. The team's spokesperson had previously told Evan Drellich of The Athletic that the teams will be called the A's or the Athletics during the 3-year interim period between Oakland and Vegas. Oakland needed a home for the next 3 seasons, with the lease at its current field, Oakland Coliseum, expiring after this year. So they were just made yesterday, apparently. Okay, let's keep on going here. Yes, let's get to the big report. LeBron's son, Bronny James, is leaving USC. Former USC guard Bronny James is going to be leaving the college. All options on the table following the disappointing freshman season. The freshman announced today he's declaring for the 2024 NBA draft while maintaining his college eligibility. To that end, he's entering the transfer portal so he can be suiting up for a team other than the Trojans if he returns for a sophomore campaign. James averaged 4.8 points on 36.6% shooting, along with 2.8 rebounds and 2.1 assists in 23-24. His offseason preparations were adversely impacted after he suffered cardiac arrest, and he never seemed to find his footing after debuting 9 games in the USC season. Bleacher Report's Jonathan Wasserman omitted James from his newest 2024 NBA mock draft and has offered an even-handed assessment of the 19-year-old's stock. Now, in terms of improving his draft position, staying in college is arguably James's best course of action. However, he might prefer falling to the second round or perhaps even going undrafted altogether, which would be an insult to his father. The former would lighten his expectations out of the gate, while he have more freedom in picking his next destination with the latter. Examining his NBA options, these 3 situations make plenty of sense. Wherever LeBron James is playing. One can argue whether teaming up with his dad, Los Angeles Lakers fallen star LeBron James, is the best thing for Bronny. It's bound to increase comparisons between father and son, and the goals of LeBron's teams don't often align with what a player like Bronny needs. Lakers, for example, won't be in a position where they could let Bronny learn on the fly and make the mistakes that are typical for any rookie. But LeBron has on multiple occasions either said directly or alluded to his desire to play alongside his son in the NBA if he so chooses. The 39-year-old can opt out of his contract and sign with whatever team selects Bronny in the draft, especially after what he went through as a freshman. Maybe a father-son tandem is what Bronny will need to find some early stability in the NBA. How about the Miami Heat? Well, simply stated, no team has been better at playoff development than the Miami Heat. They've taken a number of undrafted free agents and NBA cast-offs and molded them into solid rotational players. As the number 18 pick in the 2023 draft, Jamie Jaquez Jr. doesn't fit into that category, but he's at least another young player thriving amid Miami's continued push for a title. Heat culture has become a thing for a reason. The team has a second-round pick currently projected for number 43 overall that it could target for Bronny, or it could hope he goes undrafted and tries to sign him. It's hard to pick a better setting for Bronny than South Florida. Taking a back seat and falling out of the spotlight for a bit could help his overall development. And there's clear proof of concept in terms of head coach Eric Spoelstra getting the best out of the talent at his disposal for those willing to put in for the work. How about the San Antonio Spurs? Could he stop by and pick them? Well, you could do much worse than hitching your wagon to Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama's averaging 21.2 points, 10.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and an NBA best 3.5 blocks as a rookie. His emergence has eased a lot of the pain fans would otherwise be feeling amid an 18-win campaign. Now, as they continue building the roster around the presumptive Rookie of the Year, point guard is likely to be near the top of the Spurs' offseason wish list. Trey Jones isn't the answer, at least within a starting context, and he might be gone within the near future because he only signed a 2-year gig. San Antonio could opt for a veteran addition as a stopgap to accelerate both Wembanyama's development and its timeline becoming a contender. In that scenario, James would be positioned as a long-term successor. At the point, who would ideally slot right into the starting role after 2 or 3 years? We'll just have to wait and see on that. Those are the top 3 for you. Okay, I'm going to take a break, put the lemonade back. Back in a quick moment. Wish we had commercials, but we don't. Okay. Oh, I had something here. No, I took it back. Yeah. There it is. Okay. And we're back. Had to take that momentary pause. Okay. Hi there. Okay, let's take a look at the latest NBA playoff picture. And the picture came further into focus during last night's 5-game slate. Well, sort of. Now, granted, there's still plenty to be decided over the final week plus of the regular season, but a few teams can officially breathe a bit easier than they were able to 24 hours ago. With the Houston Rockets falling to the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, New Orleans Pelicans, and Phoenix Suns all clinched top 10 seeds in the Western Conference. Now, what does that mean? Not much, actually, but it does ensure these three clubs can do no worse than making the play-in tournament. Of course, the trio is locked into a ferocious fight for a top 6 seed and the chance to bypass the play-in, so their work is far from finished. To dig deeper into the unknowns, let's give you the standings and see which teams are on the move. In the Eastern Conference, the 6 teams with the automatic playoff berth are the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Orlando Magic, New York Knicks, and the Indiana Pacers. In the play-in tournament cutoff, Miami Heat, Philadelphia 76ers, Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, and those who are eliminated are the Brooklyn Nets, Toronto Raptors, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards, and Detroit Pistons. They were eliminated about 20 weeks ago. They were actually eliminated about, say, 28 games ago. First 28. Talk about a long losing streak. Anyway. In the Western Conference, Minnesota Timberwolves are in first, Denver Nuggets in second, Oklahoma City Thunder in third, the Clippers in fourth, Dallas Mavericks in fifth, Phoenix Suns in sixth. Those get the automatic playoff berth. The play-in tournament will have New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, Los Angeles Lakers, and Golden State Warriors, with the Rockets, Jazz, Memphis Grizzlies, Portland Trailblazers, and San Antonio Spurs kissing the wind. Now, 3 of the Eastern Conference's top 8 seeds were in action Thursday night. They all added to the congestion in the middle of the standings. The previously sliding 76ers scored a critical win over the Heat in South Beach, giving them a back-to-back victories, coincidentally, both by the same 109-105 count. Since reigning MVP Joel Embiid returned after missing 2 months and change with a meniscus injury in his left knee, Embiid has understandably looked a little rusty by his gargantuan standards, of course. compiling his 53 points on just 43.6% shooting over the two contests. Still, his presence gives the option to massive headaches in trying the opposition, two massive headaches in trying to contain him and Tyrese Maxey. Maxey, who missed Embiid's first game back with left hip tightness, looked essentially unstoppable alongside his co-star Thursday. He not only narrowly missed a monster triple-double, 37 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds, he did so while shooting a blistering 57.7% from the field, leading the contest in plus 26, and committing, or plus minus 26, and committing just a single turnover in his 41 minutes. The Sixers have won 3 straight, climbing within a half game of the Heat. Miami, though, could get its own reinforcement, with Shams Charania of The Athletic and Stadium reporting there's optimism that the Heat could get scoring guard Tyler Herro, who had a foot injury, back from a month-plus absence Friday night. Elsewhere in the East, the Knicks scored a double-digit win over the Kings, but the news wasn't all positive in New York. All-star forward Julius Randle will be forced to undergo season-ending surgery after suffering a setback while trying to work his way back from a dislocated shoulder suffered in late January. The Knicks, who are also missing two-way swingman OG Obui, had dropped 3 in a row prior to Thursday's win. They are neck and neck with the Magic for number 4 seed and a half game back of the Cavaliers for number 3. Out in the West, there wasn't much movement at the top. The Nuggets and Clippers both held at numbers 2 and 4, with LA's 2-point triumph over Denver. There are some notable developments further down the standings, though. The Mavericks, who rolled to a 109-95 win over the Hawks, stretched their lead over the number 6 Suns to a full game. It was the cleanest contest. The clubs combined to score just 30 points in the fourth quarter, but Kyrie Irving pumped in a game-high 26 points, while Luka Doncic stuffed the stat sheet with 25 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, a block, and yet another trick shot. He's always able to make tough shots, Jason Kidd, Mavericks coach, told reporters after Doncic's miracle make earlier this week. He's Picasso. Give him the paintbrush. He's going to do something special, end quote. Elsewhere, the Kings held at number 8 during that loss to the Knicks, but moved closer to the 9th-seeded Lakers, a half game up, than they are to the 6th-seeded Suns and 7th-seeded Pelicans, 1 game back. The conference contests were perhaps the most significant, given the aforementioned impact on the Mavs, Suns, and Pelicans, though, was about between the 10th-seeded Warriors and the 11th-seeded Rockets, which Golden State won very comfortably, 133-110, behind 29 points, each from siblings in splash Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. With the victory, Golden State pushed its lead to a nearly insurmountable 4 games functionality, 5 games since the Warriors owned the tiebreaker over Houston. The Rockets can probably start planning their summer vacations now. There you go. Hello. Here we go. Okay, we are at 10:36. And let's see. By the way, we got some great things for you coming up. And Matt, if you're listening and watching, I hope you are. I'm still up, thankfully. Some entertainment news we're going to mix in with the sports. And from the Hollywood Reporter, some sad news. But it also proves my theory. You try to reboot a cult classic TV or movie, a TV series or a movie, you're liable to get burned. And NBC, you burned yourself. There will be no leap to season 3 for NBC's Quantum Leap. The network has announced that it has canceled the reboot of the 1989 series after a 2-season run, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The series, starring Raymond Lee, wrapped up its sophomore season in February and ranked as one of the broadcast network's lowest-rated scripted originals. Quantum Leap, which was produced in-house at Universal Television, earned a speedy Season 2 renewal at NBC, as NBC kept productions going in a bid to have scripted originals during the writers' and actors' strike. The follow-up to the original series hailed from Martin Yero and Dean Gregorius, who executive produced alongside Deborah Pratt, Chris Grimser, and Alex Berger. Stephen Lillian and Brian Weinbrandt developed the series and served as showrunners in the update. It is the first NBC cancellation of the season and comes after the network previously renewed 5 of its Dick Wolf shows. NBC also handed out early renewals for rookie dramas Found and The Irrational, both of which were developed during the 2022 pilot season and were able to air during the strikes. And by the way, this does prove, and I'm going to say it, but hey, we're on it. It's about 10:39 right now. And let me just say this. With all the Dick Wolf shows on NBC, yes, friends, we now can say NBC loves a lot of dick. The cancellation arrives as NBC previously ended La Brea and Magnum P.I. after 3 and 6 seasons respectively early this year, and as the network has drama Dr. Wolf already on deck for next season, the network still has a decision to make on bubble drama Law and Order: Organized Crime. It'll be back. Now, on the comedy front, NBC has already ordered St. Dennis Medical for next season. It has Lopez versus Lopez, Night Court, and Rookie Extended Family still on the bubble, as well as a couple of half-hour pilots in contention. And we will have more on that when events warrant a discussion. We are at 10 o'clock. So that means one thing. We get to do this. That's right, friends. 'Tis time, ladies and gentlemen, for our WWE Friday Night SmackDown wrap-up and recap. So here we go. As you know, when we do a recap of a pro wrestling television show, we skip the BS, we skip the backstage segments, and we go straight to the action. Okay. We had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and it started out with Omos, Kit Wilson, Elton Prince. Well, we're not going to read it all. Just say that in the first elimination was Pretty Deadly, Angel Umberto. Second eliminated, Cameron Grimes, Jinder Mahal, and Apollo Crews. The third eliminations were Veer Mahin and Sangha. Fourth eliminations were the Creed brothers and Omos. Isn't it about time they push Omos or just give him his release and let AEW sign him? Also eliminated was Joaquin Wilde and Cedric Alexander. Next elimination was Ashante the Adonis. Also eliminated Ricochet and JD McDonough, who was eliminated twice. Also eliminated were Akira Tozawa and Otis. We're down to 2, Ivar and Reed. You're kidding. Well, Ivar was eliminated. Bronson Reed is your winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Yay. We then heard from Logan Paul, and as I like to say, who gives a shit? Now, Electra Lopez with Santos Escobar, Dominic Mysterio, and Andrade El Idolo versus Zelina Vega with Rey Mysterio. And the winner was Electra Lopez. After a match, Escobar and Dominic blindside Rey and beat him down as Lopez forces Vega to watch. Andrade, then clocks Dominic and Escobar, betraying them. He clotheslines the pair out of the ring and hugs Rey. Nice. We also heard from Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, and they're going to be a part of WrestleMania. You can see that on pay-per-view, or if you're lucky to have it, you can watch both nights on Peacock, at least until the contract with Peacock is up. We had A-Town Down Under taking on New Catch Republic, and the winner of that was the New Catch Republic. We also heard from LA Knight. Then the main event, I do believe, was Solo Sikoa versus Jey Uso, and the winner of that via disqualification was Jey Uso. So, wow. Pretty much a rather dystopian, or rather, go home edition before WrestleMania 40 of course, SmackDown. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. The voices of WrestleMania 40 have been revealed, and fans will get to hear the same commentary team both nights of the event. Here they are. Golly, golly gee. Yep. It was announced on the WrestleMania kickoff show that aired on Peacock this afternoon that Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and Corey Graves will serve on the desk for the entirety of WrestleMania 40. Notably, SmackDown color commentator Wade Barrett will evidently not be involved in the show. Cole, the veteran of the team, has been on the call for over 20 WrestleMania events, having been with the company for 27 years. Graves is no stranger to calling WrestleMania himself and has been a commentator for WWE, starting on WWE NXT since December 2014. McAfee will be on deck for his first WrestleMania doing commentary, but he's no stranger to the grandest stage of them all. And there you go right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your announce team. Anyway, how do you like the show so far, folks? Also, we got news that Pat McAfee may, let's go to it. Yeah, let's get you AEW Rampage. They were live tonight. So let us go to it. Malachi Black with Buddy Matthews versus Christopher Daniels. The winner of that was Malachi Black. Roderick Strong with the Undisputed Kingdom versus London Lightning in an AEW International Championship Eliminator match. The winner of that was Roderick Strong. Serena Deeb versus Trish Adora. Serena Deeb won that one. We still got more coverage to come. Don't forget, Collision is on Saturday night, but it'll be on, I do believe, at 11 p.m. or right after the Final Four. So there you go. One thing here. Okay, think we're done with that. It's 10:47. We got a little update for you kids because this one was very big when we reported on it. But after, where is it? Okay. Okay, let me pop it up here. Okay, Pat McAfee may have got his wish. One of sports media's most influential executives is out at ESPN. Norby Williamson, who had his hand in almost all parts of ESPN's content and business areas, from programming, production, and news during his nearly 4 decades at the four-letter Sports Uber network, will no longer be working at the company effective immediately, according to an ESPN staff memo. Oh, plus you. Okay, since the Athletic is on a thing here. You're kidding. Oh, plus. See if we can really read this out here. ESPN President of Content Burke Magnus made the decision, even though Williamson had multiple years left on his contract, according to executives briefed on the move. Magnus wanted to go in a different direction as the company headed forward and felt Williamson was not the best person to oversee production. An executive with direct knowledge of the decision told The Athletic it was time. In recent months, Williamson had been in the news after Pat McAfee, host of the Pat McAfee Show, which airs on ESPN, YouTube, and other platforms, claimed during his show that Williamson was the source of leaked information about the program's poor TV ratings and called Williamson a rat. ESPN sources said that the incident had no bearing on Friday's decision, but we know better, don't we, kids? Former ESPN EVP Mark Shapiro, who worked closely with Magnus and Williamson, is now president of Endeavor and TKO, told The Athletic this had nothing to do with the Pat McAfee episode. Norby wasn't fully aligned on the content vision Jimmy Pitero and Burke had. More than anything else after his incredible run, it was time to pass the torch. In the memo set by ESPN, come on, get down from there. Well, anyway, you won't have Norby to kick around anymore. Why? Because he's gone. Him gone, him gone, him gone. So there you go. Okay, we're at 10:51. We got 9 minutes, and we are going to provide you with a whole lot of scores. How are we going to do that? Volume, volume, volume. That's right. Let's get to it. If we don't have time for the other scores, well, so be it. But here we go. And then I'm going to go sleep because I got a eulogy to do for my car. Okay, let's take you over to soccer. Then we go to baseball, basketball, hockey, and whatever we can think of. Series A in Italy. Let's see here. We got, give me the teleprompter, guys. Salernitana versus Sassuolo, both ended up in a 2-2 tie. Eintracht Frankfurt and Werder Bremen from the Bundesliga tied at 1. Liga 1 in France, Lille beat Marseille 3-1. And let's see if there's any MLS games that were scheduled for sometime today or this weekend or somewhere abouts. Okay. Okay. I guess there's not. Let's boil ahead here. Okay. We got about 2 minutes. Let's go to basketball. We'll give you all the scores here. And here we go. Let's go for ones that are still going on at this hour. In the fourth quarter, Dallas leads Golden State by 105-104. In the second quarter, Phoenix leads Minnesota by a score of 43-26. And just starting, the LA Clippers are whipping the Utah Jazz in the first quarter, 24-4. Okay, we are pressing on like nothing has happened. Okay, and in Great Britain, the BBL, Plymouth City 77, Manchester 68. And in the KBL, in their playoff, Sonic Boom beat and squeaked by a win over the Mobis Phobias 93-90. I think we gave the other scores, did we not? Okay, let's do it. Oh, we got Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota. Clippers over the Jazz. Here are the final scores. Orlando over Charlotte, 115. Oh, excuse me. Charlotte over Orlando, 124-115. Indiana over Oklahoma City, 126-112. Washington, a loser to Portland, 108-102. Boston squeaked by a victory over Sacramento, 101-100. Chicago Bulls, they defeat the New York Knicks, 108-100. Miami over Houston, 119-104. Memphis put Detroit out of its misery, 108-90. Milwaukee lost to Toronto, 117-111. San Antonio over New Orleans, 111-109. And that is your basketball. Let's get you right now to ice hockey. And here we go. Buffalo over Philadelphia, 4-2. Carolina over Washington, 4-2. Rangers over the Red Wings by a score of 4-3. 3 games that are in their intermissions. We got Edmonton over Colorado, 4-2. Seattle leads Anaheim 1-0. And Arizona and Vegas are still scoreless. In the OHL playoffs, Kitchener over Erie in overtime, 3-2. Sudbury over Mississauga, 6-2. North Bay over Kingston, 5-1. And Barrie over Oshawa, 3-0. Sault Ste. Marie and Guelph start shortly, as a matter of fact. In the WHL playoffs, third period right now, it's Red Deer 3, Medicine Hat nothing. At the intermissions, Saskatoon over Prince Albert, 4-1. Everett over Vancouver, 1-0. And Wenatchee over Killaloe, 2-1. In the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, it went like this. Cape Breton over Rimouski, 4-2. Rouyn-Noranda Huskies over Gatineau, 8-3. And Blainville-Boisbriand over Sherbrooke, 5-4. And folks, we got to see about the AHL, guys. And okay, here we go. AHL action. Belleville over Springfield, 3-0. Grand Rapids over Rockford, 3-0. Syracuse over Laval, 3-1. Lehigh Valley over Providence, 3-2. Wilkes-Barre Scranton over Cleveland, 3-2. Hershey over Iowa, 7-2. And Bakersfield and Calgary are still playing, and they're still tied 1-1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, for want of a better word, is it for us. And that is definitely going to be it for us. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my dessert. And I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. It has been great fun. And I enjoyed it a little bit too much. But anyway, got a lot of things to do tomorrow. And I hope you will join us tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's right, we're on at 10 now, and it gets better and better from here. So for the one and the only, our great producer, Mr. Matthew Nichols, for Jay the Brain Man, Matthew the Wizard Nichols, and myself, I am Steve the Baxman Baxley. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. For those that are going to be celebrating it, please be careful. Do not drink or drive. And until we meet again tomorrow, I remain totally convinced that life is a bowl full of cherries. You just got to de-pit them first. Thanks, everybody. Until we meet again, good night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody.